Welcome back, everyone. As you might know, La Madeleine's closed before the new year, and I was distraught about it, Romina.
Sorry.
But owner Romina assured us something else was in the works, and here it is. Romina and Dwight have teamed up and are making Xiao Bao Bao.
Yes, we're making
This is like the left turn I never saw coming.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. I lived in Asia for a long time, and I miss having, baozi and dumplings. I lived on like snack food especially when I first moved there, because when you study Chinese, they teach you all the fancy food. Well, you don't eat that every day.
No.
And so it was just like, this was an easy way to feed myself.
You go to the street market and you buy Xiao Bao Bao every day.
That's right.
Nice and warm. Okay, so Dwight is a good friend of yours.
Yes.
You've known him for a long time, and then this concept was born.
Yes, indeed. We'd talked long about, we wanted to have like a dumpling shop. We thought that would be so fun. We can add that. Do you mind adding that to the basket?
I will.
And so then when a space became available next to La Madeleine, I thought, well, that'd be a cool way to like share the kitchen. And so I talked to Dwight, and Derek is his brother. So the three of us are partners, and this kind of became a thing, huh?
It did.
So did you already know how to make, so inside the bao is chashu, which is a double cooked
It's like
pork?
a barbecued pork filling, that's right. So first we marinate it, then we roast it, and then we make like a gravy and add the pork. So the three of us really worked on all the recipes together. But I'd made baozi and dumplings just for fun, because I missed them. But I think we did dumplings as a special at La Madeleine a couple times,
I can't wait to make
fun.
those one day.
I'd never done them on any kind of major production, so this has been a big learning experience.
And so
Lots of learning.
so neat because this really hasn't changed over the times, right? Because we cook it in these bamboo baskets,
That's right? Yeah, steamer baskets, and that's what you did with your grandma, right?
Yep. So why when we were talking to Romina about doing this, we were saying that my brother and I, we kind of missed the types of steamed buns that we could get in Hong Kong and that my grandma made that are slightly different than kind of what we currently can get in Utah. And so when we talked to Romina about it, that's kind of what we all started reminiscing about, is kind of the stuff that we'd had when we were back there. And that's what we were hoping to kind of get a flavor of when we started doing these for ourselves.
So a few weeks ago, you had your first pop-up.
We did.
I came a few hours late, which is my bad. It was within the time frame.
Totally.
But it became so popular that it was gone within minutes anyway.
We sold out in like under 2 hours, and it was a very huge learning experience, and it was so shocking to see a line around the corner. It was really heartwarming. I was really touched and scared and terrified and overwhelmed and all the things, and because that was a lot of people, and it was really nice to see people coming out to support this next adventure of mine, and I know that it did not get off to the smoothest start, and so but I learned a lot, so that the next one will go better. The next one will actually be a little bit different. It's going to be on March 17th up at the Neighborhood Hive.
Okay, all right.
And
instead of across the street from the Leonardo, right?
Exactly, instead of like next door to La Madeleine, that's right. So what we'll be doing is we'll be sampling a few of the different flavors, and we'll be selling them frozen so that you can steam them at home.
Okay.
And so that they'll just be ready to go.
Do you have to have a steamer like this to steam the bun?
No, you could do it in the microwave. This is the best way. It takes a little bit longer. It takes like 10 minutes instead of 1, but you can do it in the microwave. Dwight does it. Tell everybody how you do it.
So we've also done it where if you wrap it in a saran wrap, just kind of not super tight, but not super loose, and then like 1 minute in the microwave, then it actually works pretty well.
Yeah.
So if you do have a basket, how are we doing? So this is layered, right? If you go to dim sum, you kind of know this, and you can put another level of bao.
Exactly.
And then you put this over. It's almost like, what is it? Double boil?
A little bit, yeah. So then the steam goes up through the little holes that are in the basket. Whoops. And it'll steam all the layers. I don't recommend more than about 3 layers. Once it gets too tall, the steam's not as hot. So when they're frozen like that, they're already cooked. So you're just reheating them.
Ooh, can we bring those out?
Yeah, let's bring them over.
Let's do it. So if people want to make it at home, could they accomplish that?
Like this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we
All right,
have.
so that just came off of the stove.
Yeah.
And look at the steam. I want you to open it again. Like, can you see
All right.
that steam?
Oh, let's capture the steam.
It's just
All right,
kind of like ta-da-da.
Ta-da. So these are our Xiao Bao Bao. And then these are a couple of our other flavors. We have, Dwight came up with our own curry. So this is a curry chicken. We have a coconut, and then we have like a pork and cabbage. This is what I lived off in Taiwan. And then this was more of like a Hong Kong thing.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I'm more used to
and you're
this.
used to those. So when I lived in Taiwan and I was teaching English, there was a bao shop next door, and so I would go and grab a couple of these before I taught class, and then.
Right. And that's the great thing. It's almost a little lunch all in one pocket.
Yeah, a couple of them, and makes a great lunch. You know, you do two, a savory and a dessert. You know,
and it expands.
nice.
That's what the beauty of the steam.
Yeah, they
also.
steam because look, they start off
tiny,
that size, and then they end up this size.
All right, so where can people find you guys?
So right now we're just doing pop-ups. Our next one is going to be at the Neighborhood Hive on March 17th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then we'll be announcing others. So following us on Instagram is probably the easiest way to find out.
Don't come at 6 or 5:45. Come at 3. March 17th. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
All right, good to see you in the kitchen
it's nice
again.
to see you.
Nisha, over to you.
I love Romina.